Hello everyone, I'm Caroline and I'm reporting to you from the Eiffel Tower, as you can see from the background. And my co-host Sarah is reporting to you from
the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So in today's episode, we're going to walk you through our production process here at the Talking Mode. So in this episode, you're going to have a glimpse of what it actually looks like and what we actually do to produce each podcast episode. So without further ado, let's get started. So the most frequently asked questions that we often receive from our audiences is that what do we use to record and what do you use to basically reproduce each of our podcast episodes? So Caroline, this is one for you.
Okay. So as you can probably tell, we are recording this episode and most other episodes on Zoom. As you can see, I'm talking to you from the Eiffel Tower, and Sarah is talking to you from San Francisco. So we are physically and geographically remote, and so we usually record episodes through Zoom. And even though the connection and the quality is not very kind of top notch, but I feel like it does its job, and so we will continue to use it.
But um, it wasn't our plan for when we first started the Talking Mode, because we didn't think that we would go on for like 4 or 5 months online. We just think that we would come to one another house and then do it, recording it on our phones. But yeah,
Yeah, in the beginning, I remember like when you and I were at the Starbucks, like I was Starbucks talking about the plan for our podcast. I remember we talked about how each week we would go to a cafe, and record, but then the plans got canceled because of COVID. So that's cool. That's why you see like most of our like early episodes were like you couldn't see our faces because it's just too much work, and yeah. And so we just do it by our voice and audio and stuff, but yeah. And so regarding the editing software, I use DaVinci because it's free, but even though sometimes I got issues because it's not working properly and stuff, but I feel like it gets the job done because we still have episodes going on weekly for you. So yeah, it works. And what about you? Like, what do you use to, edit out thumbnails and, the different posts on Instagrams?
well, my go-to app, like basically my go-to website to edit out thumbnails was very like obvious. It's Canva, because well, it's free and it's easy to use. I'm not like a designer or something.
Yeah.
I like to mix like elements and all the colors. But I do sometimes use Photoshops for some of the like more advanced thing that Canva cannot do.
More hilarious and crazy.
Yeah, so
Funny.
basically I use Photoshop for pretty much a lot of crazy stuff. Like you can see from our the first
Yeah.
episode of the this or that episode.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
travel episode.
so um so you might have guessed that the baby was Caroline. And thanks to my superb Photoshop skills, well, I successfully more like cut out her face and then put it in the baby's. Well, like
But just the eyes, my eyes and my nose.
yeah, and like it took so much of, like
Yeah.
it's gonna be fast, because I saw like a lot of people and they just put a face there and oh, it looks perfect. But when I did it, it looks it's so crazy, and it was like it's like you're in the body of a baby, but like your face it's of an adult. So yeah, I can't picture that. So
It's weird, but like we sorted it
yeah,
out.
so just that little detail, it took me like 10 hours to get it. And then it was just okay, so I settled for that. No more.
Yeah, but it's fun though. I can't. Yeah, I don't think why and how we came up with that idea and how like we thought it would be funny because it's so weird. And so that's mostly our equipment and what we use to kind of sort this whole YouTube thing out, and you can see like we have Spotify and Anchor, but that's easier to handle because I feel that I could just upload the audio and not worry about the thumbnails and stuff. So that's easy. And that's hopefully answer your question.
So you probably wonder that, what kind of equipments that we would use in the future. Like we're not going to use Zoom forever, right, Caroline?
Mhm. I don't know if the pandemic continues, then it's
Well,
probably Zoom, but like,
basically it's not really the problems with time, it's more like money problem. So at first we thought big. We had this whole list of the equipment that we wanted to buy, like the
yeah,
really
the microphone that you yeah clip on
kind of
your
got it on your shirt, and then and the kind of fluffy thing that
yeah for the sound reduction and stuff like
I think it's like
filtering.
called a condenser mic. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
basically filter your voice and all the and separates it from the distractions. So that's pretty cool.
yeah.
But
When we go on to Shopee to find the price. Oh my God, it was so much. Like we couldn't even afford a single big clip thingies.
so that's that. We hopefully if this really successful, well, our success is really up to you guys. Watch and so that we have more motivation and we gain something from this. And we I don't know, we maybe upgrade it sometime in the future. Okay.
Sarah and I had this kind of promise that if we continue to do this after 1 year, then we would buy a condensed mic. Yeah, so please make it happen and please subscribe.
It's all we ask. It's all we
Yeah, so yeah, and right, you remember the last episode where you just like went on a whole like
I
ramble
know
and
it
like
all.
subscribe like
Like
that's so funny.
remember when we just first we only have like Instagram and YouTube, so that's like easy. Okay, so
Easy.
follow us on Instagram and watch us on YouTube. But now it's like, oh, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Oh, and don't remember like wait, don't forget to watch us on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify or Anchor. It was like the whole thing. It was, oh god.
Yeah, it's so weird. But I'm glad that we're diversifying.
Yeah. Okay. So the next questions, this question I often receive from some of my friends is that, so it looks like we have to put a lot of time into producing these podcasts, right? So how do we, kind of like keep it up with our study? What is, our recipes for all this to happen? How do we merge them into our timetable?
So we had this kind of routine that we kind of sorted that out on ourselves. Like, we would typically record on Tuesday night, knowing that me and Sarah try to squeeze it in and make time for it, like plan ahead of schedule. And we know that, on Tuesday night we will be recording, so we will not like do anything else. But then, of course, there are still exceptions when, we have urgent situations and stuff. But most of the case, we will record on Tuesday evening, and then from Wednesday to Friday, we would try to take the thumbnails. Of course, we will have to, think of the thumbnail earlier, but then, yeah, the rest of the time from, yeah, Wednesday to Friday, we would typically use for, yeah, shooting a thumbnail. And then the weekend is used to editing and, kind of um, me editing the video and Sarah preparing the designs for our thumbnails and then for our Instagram post. And then on Sunday we would post it, and the I would upload the audio onto our drive, and then she would upload onto Anchor and Spotify. So that's basically our routine and stuff. Yeah.
So yes, most of the videos that you watch from us, it's pre-record, but some of them are basically recorded in the same week. So when we have emergency something, so that's we try to pre-record as much as possible because we don't want things to jam up, and it's really hard because we need time to edit and shoot the photos and make thumbnails, all that thing. But yeah, there are still a lot of cases when our I think I remember the 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 podcast on Facebook outage was like few days before that before we.
I remember we recorded on Friday or something. No,
Oh,
no, 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 no. Yeah, Friday,
no, it's
Thursday,
on
and then we
Sunday.
posted it on
It's on
Monday the
Sunday.
next week.
No, it's on
Oh,
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, it was on a Sunday, and then we posted the day after that, which is on
The day
Monday.
after Monday, yeah.
So yeah, there are
Oh,
episodes where we have to work our butts off to
mhm.
finish it on time. And that's also because we want to make it meet some of the special occasions like Halloween or the Facebook outage. Yeah, kind of. It really depends, but still, well, I don't know if you remember, but when we had started this whole thing, we kind of planned for the future, and we think that okay, so in November we have applications and do you remember
Really?
that time? Like
No.
you remember like okay, so around that time we're going to be busy with our I don't know university applications. And
I do remember that, but then
we say, oh, so
I don't know how.
we record a lot of things, but so when we got here, it's November, and well, I think like early action was passed, like it was yesterday, but still we keep it up with our
Yeah.
podcast every week. So I think that at the moment we're doing fine, and we hope that it's we could maintain this pace in the future, right?
Yeah, and I do think like, some of the other podcasters, when they share about their kind of routine, I do see some of them, most of them like record on the same week that they will upload, so that to keep it very relatable and up to date with the audience. So I feel like it's just because of our schedule is so busy that we want to pre-record. But if I think that if we can, then we might as well, just record it on the same week so that it would be, yeah, very up to date. But yeah.
Still, we'll try to make it as close as possible to our audiences. If you watch, you will notice that. So throughout the production process, have you ever, come across any difficulties during that time?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't have any problem if we're following the schedule, but obviously when there are some urgent occasions or special events that we want to talk about, that's when the problem come in, because I usually plan ahead my week the week before, and so that means that I don't really have the time to squeeze in another extra episode. So especially when the Facebook outage record like episode, we were in the middle of the exam season, and so that was very stressful. But I ended up somehow, okay, that is for the YouTube channel, this is for the podcast, we have to do this, and so yeah, even though it's a little stressful, but yeah, we just kind of have to prioritize and maybe cut back on our sleep a bit. I feel like you and I kind of work like very compatibly, like
Work like hand in
you
hand?
have yeah, you have my part and then I have my part, so we don't usually
We don't
intersect, like
we don't really clash with one another.
yeah, we don't really clash, but then if either of us don't do well, then the whole system will crash.
So yeah, we work like really closely and hand in hand with one another. I think it was because of the chemistry that we had together, and then we kind of like get used to it. So it's really fast when say you understand me and I understand you. So we kind of really when we have like new ideas, it kind of goes like it's really fast. Not like we have
And
to
we are
so much time to explain
really at each
something,
other.
which is really yeah kind of like what's that word called? I think like match. No, not really match. It's kind of like something.
Yeah, we're on the same vibration and the same beliefs, I feel like, because as you can probably tell, some of our ideas, if some of our thumbnails, if not most of them, are very weird. But yeah, and so I feel like it's hard to find somebody who's on that same level of weird with you. And so I feel like that's where we clicked, and that's where we kind of work very well, because when I say my idea about the thumbnail, she understands and she made it as weird as I would like. So I feel like that's very interesting. yeah, because that's why, yeah. But what about you? Like, what are the difficulties that you came across when maintaining this whole thing? Yeah.
So one difficulty I find, during this whole production process is that, well, I'm aware that, I could be procrastinating sometimes, but I do have to get into the mindset that if I don't do it, then nobody's gonna do it. And, it's got the whole production jammed up uh, because we have no backs up really. We kind of like it's a two-person job. I do the visuals, and Caroline, you know, does the whole thing with editing videos. So if I don't have the thumbnail or like the cover arts, then that podcast is not gonna be produced that week, and vice versa. If there's no videos or there's no audio, then we could not post it on to our platforms either. So that's
Can
one.
you imagine? Can you imagine our podcast like have only the picture, the whole?
Yeah, it's just have a picture and then no a sound.
But anyway, yeah. So those are our difficulties. But other than that, I don't feel like we have any kind of clashes. Luckily, yeah, yeah.
So during our production process, what is the thing that you enjoy most?
Like when okay, so between the different stages that we have in producing this podcast, I would say like I either there are two things that I really enjoy. So first, obviously the recording, the actual sitting down to talk with you and just to record and stuff. I really enjoyed it, and also I really enjoy hearing, like rehearing, like re-listening when I edit, because that's very funny. Yeah, because that's why I don't usually watch back our videos on YouTube because I've already listened to them twice or even like third times or something. So that's very interesting because sometimes so I don't know if you realize this, but like when I'm recording like this, I understand what you say, but then when I go on and edit, I don't really know what was saying. I don't really know where this is going, so that's why. Yeah, it's so weird that we can understand this now, but like when I listen it back, I don't really understand. And but I really enjoy it though. It's fun. It's fun. It's hilarious. Yeah. What about you?
So there are I say I have two things that I enjoy, working in our projects. So I say there are two things that I enjoy during our production process. So one is when the whole thing's happening. I feel like this is like the hour, like there's an hour every week that we spend to talk and enduring and even familiar topics to some of the topics that we really just getting ourselves into. But like in that 1 hour, a lot of things happen. We kind of understand more about one another. There are questions that we have not asked each other had we been directly talking with each other online, but here we're creating content. We are trying to dig in, that we try to dig deeper into the problems, so we kind of want to understand more, so that we have more to say. And the second thing is that there are times when you finish your production, it's there, it's online, and sometimes I know that Caroline and I, we are not big on promoting our own videos. That's not the thing that we do. We're not strong on that, and we think that we just really don't have time. So although we spend a lot of time to refine the qualities of our podcast and the qualities of the thumbnails and cover arts, but we really, really, don't put too much effort into promoting them. But sometimes when I just doing my homework or something and I receive a text saying that, hey, this is good, hey, this is amazing, and it's just really motivational. You see like sometimes that it's not a lot, just like sometimes one or two friends, and they just screenshot and they said, oh, this is very helpful, thank you for sharing this, and kind of like it's really heartwarming. You see that your efforts been paid off, like you can record something and there's somebody out there who really listens to you and appreciate for the things that you've done. So that is like two things that I really enjoy working in our projects.
Yeah, I do think that if we don't have this, me and you wouldn't talk.
Yeah, we
Like
wouldn't
because
really,
we just text,
like
text. Yeah.
our summer really, this summer we got to, know more about one another, and we, our contacts, we keep in touch with one
Yeah,
another through our projects. Because
I really appreciate that.
if we had nothing to really, connect it, then we just don't, we don't feel the need to talk to one another. I mean, even though maybe like greetings, hey, or like tag you in some kind of post online, but it's not really getting into like a deeper level. So yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like the more we understand each other, the weirder we become.
It kind of
So
like,
weird.
okay, so like you kind of find something that okay match you, and it's just gonna follow that, and it's, I don't know, like
Yeah.
it's when you realize that when you're working in groups, then you have like all these strangers. Say that's, all those people are strangers, and you kind of don't feel very comfortable to speak your mind. That you have all these ideas, but you're afraid that saying this will, people will think that you're so weird, or like, I don't know. It's just really hard to. I think like that's part of the how we got into our creative process. We're not afraid of like, the other criticizing, one of the ideas. So we just say whatever thing, the craziest, the meaningless, something that's really foolish, and something that's, gibberish. But we just, suggest, and then, in the end we come up with the ideas. It's not long. It's actually really like 15 minutes or something. That's how fast we come up with ideas, and how we, settles for idea.
Yeah, and hearing, you mentioned about our meaningless ideas and our meaningless opinions actually can help others.
Mm.
Yeah, that's very cool to see. Like at least like they they understand what we're saying. Yeah, and so that's not meaningless at the end of the day. Yeah, at least we talk and we at least somebody listen. And if nobody listens, then you listen to me and I listen to you. So that's kind of fair enough. Yeah, coming into this, we don't really ask for a big following or an actual career out of this. We just thought that because Kevin and I like to talk, and so
You have not seen
as
us
you can
in,
see from the
yeah,
name,
you have not seen us in class, or like when we had lunch. We would just talk from, I don't know, some from food
yeah,
to something very like huge concept, like philosophy, and something that's
uh-huh.
really deep.
Even we talk about the medical system and stuff. It's so weird.
Yeah, we got from one thing, tiny, like the littlest thing, to like the biggest thing ever. Like,
Yeah, it's cool, but it's kind of yeah, thing. But we hope that you understand what we're talking about though, because I feel like we're going on a tangent already. But yeah, that's what we enjoy the most, and we hope you enjoy it too. Like, and if you do, like, please send Sarah a message because I'm not the one who typically would reply to your messages.
well,
But
except if
anyway,
you comment on a Facebook post,
yeah.
then Caroline will take care of that, because. Okay, so that's it for our, kind of like question and answers, like frequently asked questions. So see you next time. Until then, stay tuned, stay safe,
Stay,
and
stay awesome.
stay awesome. Bye.
Bye. Okay.